You've been applying for dozens of jobs, but so far, no luck. You know you're qualified, but you begin to wonder if you're just not a good candidate. In reality, it's probably just mistakes on your resume that keep you from landing those jobs. In this video, I'll describe 5 of the most common resume mistakes and how you can avoid them. Stick around till the end because while all these mistakes are important to avoid, some of the most crucial points come near the end. Mistake number 5. Not finishing the sentence. It sounds crazy, but one of the worst and most common mistakes people make on their resume is not elaborating on the results and tangible outcomes of their prior work experience. For example, they might say something like, "I handled customer queries." At first glance, you might think, hey, that is a full sentence. And technically, you'd be right. But when you're writing a resume, your sentences should not just say what you did, but also what impact you had by doing it. So, for example, you might rewrite that sentence as handled customer queries, leading directly to a 46% improvement in customer satisfaction. Also remember that numbers jump out on the page. So whenever you can, you should try to quantify the results of your efforts. Mistake number 4, not acknowledging long gaps in employment. Look, I get it. You were unemployed for 6 months due to unforeseen circumstances you had no control over. Or maybe you tried to start a business and it just didn't work out and you decided to finally re-enter the job market. Or maybe you just got out of college and lived at your parents' house until you found a decent paying job. These and other types of employment gaps are very common and certainly nothing to be ashamed of. The mistake many people make is that they don't take the opportunity to explain what happened or why there's a long gap between entries in their resume. Let's say you were injured or ill, or maybe you were traveling the world. Whatever it was, in this case, you can add a sentence into your cover letter describing why there's a long gap between entries in your resume. Be honest, but also try to frame it as an experience you learned or grew from. Now, there are a lot more ways to deal with these kinds of employment gaps. So for more in-depth information on addressing them, go to doesyourresumesuck.com and check out our blog post on this topic. The link for that is in the description. Mistake number 3, asking for a specific salary. While it's true that many job applications include a section for salary expectations, you should only include this information if they ask for it. A lot of people want to be crystal clear about how much money they will accept before they even get their foot in the door. But this is usually not a good idea. For example, if you're asking too little, it can make the employer question your qualifications. Why would you be asking for less than what the position pays? On the other hand, if you're asking too much, they may throw your resume in the trash before you even get to the negotiating table. So unless you're asked specifically in the job description for your salary expectations, don't include them. Mistake number 2, not using an ATS-compatible resume. ATS, or applicant tracking systems, are software programs that most employers use to filter out applicants who don't meet certain basic criteria. Employers often receive hundreds of applications for a single job, so instead of wasting their time by going through each one at a time, they use ATS to screen resumes for specific keywords indicating that the applicant meets the basic requirements. These keywords are usually taken directly from the job posting. But even if you get these keywords in your resume, it's not just the content that matters, but also the file type and format of your resume. Always use a Word doc, that is a .doc or .docx file type, because PDFs and other file types can't be scanned effectively by ATS. Formatting is also important. Make sure to use an ATS-optimized resume template so that the ATS can find your information efficiently. And finally, mistake number 1, lying. We've all heard the expression, fake it till you make it. While it's sometimes helpful, if it's taken too far, this can sound a lot like lie about your accomplishments until you get a job you're not qualified for. I know, you want to get a great job. You feel like you won't stand out unless you bend the truth. And in fact, some shady recruiting agencies will tell you to do just that. Don't listen to them. Even if you do get an interview this way, you're likely to get called out by a potential employer at some point in the hiring process. Trust me, I know how hard it is to feel like you have no relevant experience and to be tempted to lie. But there are better ways to frame your real experiences as more impactful and relevant for the job you're applying for. To learn how, check out our video on how to write a resume with little to no experience. Now, to be completely honest, there are dozens more mistakes that people make while writing their resumes. To avoid all of these, sign up for our email list and get instant access to our guide to 25 common resume mistakes and how to avoid them. Click the link in the description to sign up right now.